Okay, guys, I'm here to give you my WWE Slammy Awards Raw Edition, like the WWE Raw, the Slammy Award Edition review of 2013. It happened on December 9th, 2012. Um, and I think before I actually get to the show, I'm going to just talk about the Slammy Awards. I'm going to give you who won the Slammy Awards because I don't really remember what order they were in. And I'm going to talk about the nominees. I was originally going to make the video, but they didn't give out the full Slammies until the day of the Slammies. And they had a ton of Slammies this year, I think. This year they had them on the app, WWE.com, and WWE.com, and, well, on the actual show. So, there was a lot of Slammies. So I got a lot of Slammies to cover. So I'm just going to start it. And, the hosts of the Slammy Awards were Booker T and Jerry the King Lawler, in case you want to know. So I guess I'll start with the WWE.com was. What a Maneuver of the Year award. So I guess who's had the most effective finishing move this year. Um, for the WWE.com was, it says that WWE.com presented these awards, so I'm assuming they just had some jabroni do the awards. And yeah, they just had some guy do the award. So I'll get started on it. The nominees were Roman Reigns' spear, Daniel Bryan's running knee strike, the flying knee he's been doing, AJ Lee's Black Widow submission move, and Antonio Cesaro's swing, the swing that he's been doing. And Roman Reigns won the spear, won the Slammy Award here. I think that's fine. It has been pretty effective, I will admit. Those are the moves. That's the move that usually sets up the triple power bomb. Then we got Faction of the Year, again presented by by WWE.com. We have the Shield being Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. The Wyatt family being Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. The Real Americans being Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro, and Zeb Coulter. And 3MB, I can't believe 3MB being Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, and Drew McIntyre. I can't believe 3MB got nominated because they didn't do jack shit this year. But anyhow, of course the Shield won this year because they did take out The Rock. They beat John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus at Elimination Chamber when nobody thought they would. They beat, um, they won their first match at WrestleMania this year. They beat the Brothers of Hell, which that's what I called Undertaker, Kane, and Daniel Bryan as a tag team, since Kane and Undertaker were the Brothers of Destruction, and Daniel Bryan and Kane were Team How No. They took out the Undertaker this year. Dean Ambrose, all the men, everyone hold a championship this year. Dean Ambrose being the United States champion, and Dean Ambrose is still holding that United States championship. And Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns won the WWE Tag Team Championships. Um, and they're the guys that the Authority go to if you want to take somebody out. So if you tell me, I think that's a pretty good faction right there. Um, so the next one you have is You Still Got It, Best Return of the Year, Best Superstar Return of the Year. So I guess it's the best superstar to come back this year. We have Goldust, Rob Van Dam, the Bella Twins being Nikki and Brie Bella, Bruno Sammartino, and Chris Jericho. Now, I don't think Sammartino, I like Sammartino, but I don't think he has the right to be nominated for this award. Because I think You Still Got It means, you come back and actually can still wrestle and win. That's what I think it is, but I think Goldust ended up winning this award, which I knew he could still go. I guess actually if you watch TNA, I guess I'll be. I think Goldust, because you hadn't seen him wrestle in a while. Because I guess if you watched TNA, you would have seen Rob Van Dam wrestle in TNA earlier this year. Um, then we have Couple of the Year award. The nominees were Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, Fandango and Summer Rae, Tyson Kidd and Natalya, John Cena and Nikki Bella, and Naomi and Jimmy Uso. Now, I don't know why they chose Real Relationships from Total Divas. So I don't know, but if you ask me, I would say Triple H and Stephanie McMahon should win this award because they've been married pretty much since the Attitude Era kind of started. Well, I guess was kind of still getting in there. Um, and I think they should win this award. But Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella ended up winning this award. Not a fit. I guess that's fine because I probably would have put them in second place since they did get engaged this year. So, then we get Tag Team of the Year. We have the nominees were Cody Rhodes and Goldust. The Shield being Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. The Primetime Players being Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. And the Real Americans being Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro. Actually, I'm going to tell you who I would have picked for these awards. So for the What a Maneuver of the Year award, I probably would have picked Roman Reigns, the Spear, and Daniel Bryan's Flying Knee. Faction of the Year, the Shield of the Wyatt family. You still got it, probably either Goldust or I guess Chris Jericho. Um, a couple of the year, Triple H. Yeah, I already said that. But for this one, since there's five, I probably would have picked Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns since they did hold the tag team championships pretty much the whole year. And I actually probably would have picked Goldust and Cody Rhodes since they did beat the Shield for the tag titles, and no one thought that no one ever would. But they did win the Slammy Awards, Cody Rhodes and Goldust, so I actually think that's pretty cool. Um, so now we have feat of strength. So this one only of the year. So this one, the last one's only had five. This one only has four. Um, we have Mark Henry pulls two trucks with his bare hands. That was pretty impressive. Antonio Cesaro's winning the Great Khali. That was pretty impressive, but I think they should have put the one when he actually gave the Great Khali the neutralizer. Ryback shell shocks Mark Henry. I don't know. I didn't really find that they were very impressive because I knew it was coming. And the Shield triple power pawns Big Show. I think it was probably referring to the first time they did it when they attacked him on the WWE app. Um, I probably would pick Mark Henry pulling the the two trucks with his bare hands because that is pretty damn impressive. I mean, obviously some of them probably was controlling it by driving it because I don't think he probably would have been able to do it himself. But storyline wise, that's pretty impressive. And I probably um, yeah, but that's the one I would pick. And Mark Henry pulling two trucks with his bare hands ended up winning this Slammy award. And then we got the Say What quote of the year. I don't know. Some of these awards are a little nonsense, I will say. Um, so this quote is by Dusty Rhodes. One stipulation's in my boys' corner, and I'll be a huckleberry all night long. And this one's by Brock Lesnar. Paul, say something stupid. That was awesome right there. Damian Sandow. This one's by Damian Sandow. Rise above this. I don't remember him ever saying that. I'm assuming it was when he was cashed in the Money in the Bank on John Cena. And then we have Paul Heyman saying the Paul Cano eruption. I don't remember him saying that. Me personally, I probably would have picked when Brock Lesnar said Paul say something stupid because it was just something unexpected and it's something kind of cool. Um, but the one that won was Dusty Rhodes when he said one stipulation. I'm in my boy's corner and I'll be a huckleberry all night long. And that actually wasn't too bad either. Um, Best dance moves of the year. The nominees were the Funkadactyls being Naomi and Cameron, Fandango, R-Truth, Summer Rae, The Great Khali, or Mizgo Inferno. If you don't know who that is, that's when The Miz came out on like a SmackDown when they were having a dance off and they were pretending to be Mizgo Inferno for the dance off. That was The Miz. Guess if I had to say, it would either be probably Fandango because he actually isn't a bad dancer, and I guess I would say maybe the Funkadactyls because they're kind of hottest dancers. So, and that's the team that actually did end up winning. And we have favorite web show of the year. We had the nominees are the JBL and Cole Show. The WWE inbox, if you don't know what that is, that's when you can send in questions to the WWE. I think I sent them in before, it didn't work. 30-second Fury, that is when they will show someone's finishers. Like they've shown Alberto Del Rio's, John Cena's, Randy Orton, Sheamus's, so stuff like that. And WWE Top 10. I probably would have picked the top 10. To be honest with you, I could care less, but I would probably maybe would have picked the top 10 one just as a random one. I don't know. But the JBL and Cole show ended up winning, and that's the one that's always talked about, so I'm fine with that. Then we got the best crowd of the year. Now, this one shouldn't even be a question. Um, the Raw after WrestleMania 29, it was in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Um, the Raw at the crowd at WWE Payback, and that was in Chicago, Illinois. The Raw at SummerSlam, and that was in Los Angeles. The crowd at SummerSlam. I keep saying the Raw. The crowd at SummerSlam lost in Los Angeles, California, and the crowd in Raw in England which was in London, England, obviously, on April 22nd. Be honest with you, I'm probably gonna go with the crowd. The one I would have picked is the crowd for the Raw after WrestleMania, because that was insane. They did chant some awesome things. That side of the Fandango chant. Like, I think if they were not in that Raw, that chant would have never happened. So, and I still think that should have just been a one-time thing. It was kind of cool at first. Now it's just little babyish. And then they did the wave. They chanted Macho Man, Randy Savage, JBL, Michael Cole. They chanted all kinds of stuff. So that's the one that ended up winning too. I mean, it better have won, but yeah, I definitely think that one deserves to win. Now we have Catchphrase of the Year award. There was a lot. I told you there's a lot of awards here. Daniel Bryan's "Yes, Yes, Yes" chant. Mark Henry saying "That's what I do" when every time he was a heel, when he would attack someone. Fandango when he would go Fan Don go if he didn't when he would say when that's how he would say his name. Bray Wyatt saying follow the buzzards. The Real Americans saying we the people. The Shield saying believe in the Shield. I probably would pick two for this one. It would be Daniel Bryan's "Yes, Yes, Yes" chant because I love that, and Bray Wyatt saying "Follow the Buzzards" because I had no idea what that meant. Okay, now this one's on the pre-show on the app. I missed like the first part of it, so I didn't see the whole thing. But we have the trending now hashtag of the year. And this was presented by the tag team champions Cody Rhodes and Goldust. And we have the Shield's hashtag being hashtag Believe in the Shield. The Authorities hashtag being hashtag Best for Business. The Wyatt Family's Twitter thing being hashtag Follow the Buzzards, and the Real Americans being hashtag We the People. Probably would have picked the Shield for this one because he probably would have talked about a lot this year, and the Shield did end up winning. This is Awesome Moment of the Year, and that was presented by Christian. We have Big Show knocking out Triple H on Raw when he got fired. Dolph Ziggler cashing in Money in the Bank on Alberto Del Rio and winning the World Championship. Kofi Kingston saving himself from elimination in the Royal Rumble by using JBL's chair at the Royal Rumble. And Daniel Bryan winning his second WWE Championship from Randy Orton at Night of Champions. All these are actually, I think, great. I think all these are actually great nominees. The one I would have picked is probably Big Show knocking out Triple H because that's the one I was thinking because I was waiting for so long for them to finally let Big Show get his hand on Triple H, and then they finally did it. So honestly, I think that's the one that should win. So yeah, Kofi Kingston doing the chair thing was cool. Dolph Ziggler cashing in, but he kind of had to cash in, but that kind of didn't really turn into anything. And Daniel Bryan winning his championship. I actually was shocked because I thought they would have had Orton keep the belt longer, but that was actually pretty cool. But they never gave him a run with the belt. They just gave him they won at best. Um, Now we got the breakout star of the year. That's the person that comes in the first year and does great. We have John Laurinaitis presenting this award. And the nominees are the Shield. I kind of explain why they got nominated. The Wyatt family, they got nominated because they took out everybody. They're just this crazy group, this awesome group. They took out Kane at SummerSlam. I think that was great. Biggie Langston, I think he got nominated. I think he probably would not have got nominated if for his face turn. He did win the Intercontinental Championship this year. His first match was at WrestleMania, but he lost. So I think he good. And Fandango, and it says with Summer Rae. Fandango beat Chris Jericho in his first match at WrestleMania. And that's kind of all he really did this year. So I kind of agree with them not having him win. The Shield ended up winning, kind of the same reason they won the Faction of the Year. So, and then we got the Oh wait, no, we got the Beard of the Year award. And that was presented by Santina Morella, and he came out with this goofy beard. It was awful. We have Daniel Bryan, Damian Sandow. Well, these are the nominees. The Wyatt family and Zeb Coulter. Probably would have gone with Daniel Bryan for this one because they made a T-shirt about saying the beard is here, so it's obviously he deserved to win. And Daniel Bryan didn't end up catching a Slammy award here, so yeah, we got a lot of Daniel Bryan on this show. He got nominated for a lot of awards. Now this is on the actual show. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about the actual show first. When I put my phone, I remember taking it in here with me. I remember taking in my phone in here with me. Remember taking my phone in here with me. I don't know. Oh, I was sitting on it. So let's see how long this video go. Oh wow. Um, so we have JBL and Michael Cole on commentary. This is when Jerry the King Lawler and Booker T started hosting it. They said Jerry Lawler would be back, but I don't think he ever came back. So the first match, we get Daniel Bryan versus Fandango with Summer Rae. This match was a pretty decent match. Daniel Bryan dominated a lot of the match. He did a suicide dive on Fandango, and then he did the drop kick that he usually does in the corner, but he did it um, across the barricade. And then he went for, I think, a drop kick, but Fandango countered into a sit-down power bomb. And then Daniel Bryan came back, did his headbutt, and then hit the flying knee on him for the win. So the match was actually a decent match. I liked it. And then we got the Yellow Well Moment of the Year. They started that award, and it was presented by the New Age Outlaws, being Billy Gunn and Road Dogg, who were in DX. If you didn't know that. Your nominees were the Rock concert at the 20th anniversary of Raw on January 14th. When that came up on WWE.com, I thought they were talking about the one that he did last year when he was feuding with John Cena, but I guess that wasn't the case. It was when he talked trash about Vicky Guerrero, so I did think that I did like that was funny. It's just it felt like it happened so long ago. Um, Vicky Guerrero being fired as the GM on Raw, and that happened on July 8th. Um, Titus O'Neil throwing up on JBL, Michael Cole, and Zeb Coulter on SmackDown, and that happened on November 29th. Vicky Guerrero being fired as GM was pretty funny. I remember she's like, I motivated The Undertaker to wrestle another match again. It was like hilarious. Um, and I guess, and Daniel Blunt and Mike Titus O'Neil, like I said, it wasn't in my live reactions. Titus O'Neil throwing up on JBL, Michael Cole, and Zeb Coulter wasn't funny. It was kind of awkward. It was like awkward. And the Great Khali and Jinder Mahal trying to charm Santino's Cobra on SmackDown. That happened on September 27th. I don't remember if I did a live reactions to that. But if I did, I'm sorry. That was just like no. That was like shit. But well, the Rock concert ended up winning, and I remember it was like when he called out Vicky Guerrero and said, no biatch, you look horrible tonight, and then he said like that she dresses like a hooker and stuff like that. It was actually quite funny. Um, so let's see next. We got Santino Morella versus Damian Sandow with Biggie Langston on commentary for this match. Um, Damian Sandow wins with a full Nelson Slam, and then he has a face-off with Biggie Langston afterwards. Don't know who, and setting up the match a little bit more for TLC this Sunday. I have no idea who's gonna win, but I'm looking forward to seeing that match. Kinda, I think they could work good together. And then we got the Double Cross of the Year award, and that was presented by The Shield. And they were actually dressed up in tuxedos, and Dean Ambrose was kind of bragging about how good he looked. I will say that when they came into the pre-show, they didn't come out and accept the award because Dean Ambrose had to get ready for his match with Punk, and Daniel Bryan had to get ready for his match with Fandango. So, um, and the Shield were talking about how they'll never turn on the Shield, and if anyone ever did turn on the Shield, if they joined up with them, they would pay for it. Kind of talking about that, but these are some moments when they turn their back on him. We have Shawn Michaels turning on Daniel Bryan and costing him the WWE Championship in Hell in a Cell. I remember that. I don't really think he turned on him, like I said before. I think he only hurt him because he hurt his best friend Triple H, and he just was just sticking up for him. I would do the same thing if anyone ever hurt my best friend. Now this one I think should have won. This one I actually would have picked to win. Triple H turning on Daniel Bryan and costing him the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. I did not see that coming, and I was pretty pissed by that. I was pissed because I thought that Daniel Bryan finally got his run with the championship. I thought he was going to finally get that championship, but then he had Randy Orton come out. It was now it's back to normal, like 2007 all over again. We have John Cena feuding with Randy Orton. Stupid. Um, this one was awesome. Mark Henry turning on John Cena during his retirement. When he faked his retirement this year so he could get a shot at the WWE Championship. That was awesome. I thought it was real, like he was really retiring, but then he ended up not retiring. Like I kind of had like my doubts because John Cena was still out there, but I thought he was only a. They had John Cena stay out there out of respect for him in real life. But no, he turned his back on him. So I thought that was awesome. Paul Heyman turning on CM Punk and costing him the WWE Championship Money in the Bank ladder match at Money in the Bank. Be honest with you, that kind of I guess they're talking about turning on him as friends, but I kind of knew that was coming since CM Punk ended up dumping Heyman as his client, and I knew that was coming. And then you had Brock Lesnar attack him, and if Heyman was gonna go with one of them, obviously he's gonna go with Brock Lesnar. So, but the one that ended up winning was Shawn Michaels turning on Daniel Bryan, and Shawn Michaels was actually like shocked that they have this award now because he's turned his back on so many of his partners, and it's true. He's turned his back on Hulk Hogan. That they showed he turned his back on Diesel being Kevin Nash. So he has turned his back on all of his partners. And then he came out and yeah. Then we got the Diva of the Year award. We got the Bella twins, Nikki and Brie being the nominees. Now, why would there be? Shouldn't there only be one Diva of the Year, not two? So I don't know why they're both nominees, but and if I pick anyone to be nominated, I probably would pick Brie Bella since she's been wrestling the most this year. AJ Lee, the fucking actors being Naomi and Cameron, Natalia. Like I said, though, there only should be one. If I had to pick someone for the fucking actors, I'd probably pick Naomi because she's the best wrestler of the group of that thing. Caitlyn and Eva Marie. I can't believe she's a nominee, but she is. I'm assuming it's because of her Total Divas, because if they're talking about her win work, there really is no win work. And that was presented by Eve Torres. And Eve Torres looked actually pretty damn hot tonight. I think I got a little ahead of myself, too. I didn't talk about the next match. Oh, well. But yeah, I'll just talk about this. I would have probably picked either AJ. I picked either AJ Lee or Natalia to come out on top. I don't know why I switched to the Bellas and Natalia, but I did. And the Bellas ended up winning. I think AJ Lee kind of should have won it here because she kind of made the Divas division credible again. Because you could say Total Divas did that, but I think AJ Lee made it credible because before Total Divas they were doing that Caitlyn feud and they were doing pretty good stuff with that. So I think AJ Lee brought credibility into the championship. But the Bellas won. They were like, I can't believe it. We won. Woohoo. 2014 is going to be better. But before that, we got Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. I forgot about this because there really isn't anything to talk about. Kofi Kingston got all the offense, and then he like missed a move, and Miz rolled him up for the win. Then Kofi hit Trouble in Paradise on him afterwards. So that's stupid. Um, and then after the Diva of the Year award, we got Rey Mysterio, Big Show, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust versus Ryback, Curtis Axel, and the Real Americans with Zev Coulter. I thought this was a decent match. It wasn't the best. Um, Rey Mysterio pinned Curtis Axel after a 619 in the splash, so that's fine. And then we got the Superstar of the Year award. Now this award I think should have came a little bit later on in the show, but maybe they wanted it was understandable. Oh, I forgot about something about the Daniel Bryan Fandango match. The Wyatt family came on the screen and talked about how like they want him to join them like that. So yeah, and this was presented by, and then I think they like gonna hurt him too. This was presented by Shawn Michaels. The nominees were Daniel Bryan, John Cena, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Big Show, and Brock Lesnar. My opinion. I thought Daniel Bryan or Randy Orton were gonna pull out. John Cena won it last year, and he did not need to win it again this year. CM Punk lost it like a bunch of pay-per-views this year, so he didn't need to win it. Brock Lesnar is a part-time wrestler, so obviously he's not going to be there. If Heyman was there, I probably would have considered it, but Heyman's not even there right now, so there's no one really to accept the award for him. Big Show kind of didn't really accomplish anything this year, so pretty much a slave all through the year. So Daniel Bryan deserved it because he was the most over guy. He could have won it last year too, but and he like won the he beat Randy Orton in the main event, beat Sheamus, Christian, beat John Cena clean at SummerSlam, won the WWE Championship twice this year. So, and he was like, he was very over this year. He's in a great storyline. Randy Orton won Money in the Bank, won at SummerSlam, won the championship at SummerSlam, and then won the championship in Hell in a Cell. And yeah, it's no brainer. He could possibly win both championships. So could John Cena. I will say John Cena did accomplish a lot this year. Beat The Rock at Mania and got his win back. Beat Ryback, Mark Henry. Got injured, and then the first night of his injury, won the World Championship, and he could possibly hold both. He could be the true champion too. So, and he won the Royal. And John Cena won the Royal Rumble this year, so he had a great year too. I think. Punk had a good year because he did get to wrestle Brock Lesnar, The Rock, and Undertaker at Mania this year. And he got into a great feud with Heyman, until it just got screwed over. But yeah, Brock Lesnar had a great year too. He took out Vince McMahon, beat Triple H, and he beat CM Punk. So that's pretty good. But Brock Lesnar wasn't there enough either. So Daniel Bryan ended up winning this award, and then they kind of had that awkward moment face off between Bryan and Michaels, saying he's honored to win the Superstar of the Year, and he said that if it wasn't for Shawn, he would have never been in the WWE, but if it wasn't for Shawn, I would be the WWE Champion. But it's also because of the authority, because, he had the championship after Night of Champions, that Shawn Michaels would never been put in that situation if it wasn't for they didn't vacate the championship. So, yeah, but, then we got Sin Cara versus Alberto Del Rio. This was a good match. I actually will admit that. It was back and forth. Sin Cara hits a turnbuckle a power bomb off the turnbuckle, and then hits the swanton and gets the win again. He beat him 2 weeks in a row. I heard that Del Rio did get injured. I read it on WWE.com, and I don't know if it's real or fake because the website's obviously gonna think everything's real, but yeah, Sin Cara beat him. Still, Sin Cara beat him 2 times in a row. I wanted to try to do something big with Sin Cara before he gets injured. So let's see what happens. And then we got the Fan Participation of the Year award. I think it's like the thing that the fans chanted the most this year. We got the primetime players, and the hosts with the primetime players being Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. They kind of, I guess, added them the millions of dollars chant to the thing, but it didn't really get added to it. The actual nominees are Daniel Bryan's "Yes, Yes, Yes" chant, the Fandangoing da 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 da. I don't know how to say it. The "Let's Go Cena sucks" chant, and R-Truth's "What's Up" chant. Daniel Bryan obviously won, and I think at this point he probably didn't even know what to say because he was just like, because he won so many Slammy awards. So he won like Daniel Bryan won I think 4 Slammy awards on this show. Daniel Bryan got a bunch of TV time on this show. I think that was the best thing about this show. Then we got and I probably would have picked that too to win. So then we got Brodus Clay with Sweet Tea and the Funkin' Actors versus Xavier Woods with R-Truth. Brodus Clay destroys him, hits the splash off the road to the win, then continues to attack him. And then R-Truth and Sweet Tea break it up, and Brodus Clay, I think, is getting into monster heel mode. He's got to stop dancing in the ring, I'll admit that, but he's getting there. He's getting there. And then we get CM Punk versus Dean Ambrose with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Great match here. I thought this was great. But if there was kind of the same one on SmackDown, but I think they did it here again so they could see it here. Well, I'll talk about that in a second. CM Punk gets the win with the go to sleep because I get the Rollins and Reigns bailed because I guess they told him to leave or something. I don't know, but then afterwards, Rollins tries to attack Punk, but he fails, and then Roman Reigns spears Punk and hurts his ribs some more. So I thought that was fine. He's got CM Punk's got the handicap match with the Shield this Sunday, and Daniel Bryan's got his handicap match with the Wyatt family. So I thought that's fine. And then I forgot a Slammy award, so I have to go back up. I have to go to Insult of the Year award, and this was presented by The Miz. The nominees were Stephanie McMahon insulting Big Show. When she ended up firing him. AJ Lee going off on the Total Divas, that big pipe bomb she cut this year. Paul Heyman's insults toward CM Punk. I thought they were going to be the ones where he talked about how he doesn't have his mother anymore and stuff, but no. Zeb Coulter's insult about the illegal immigrants sneaking across the borders. Stephanie McMahon insulting Big Show won. Doesn't surprise me. She did say some pretty house stuff. Then we got the match. So that was before the CM Punk Dean Ambrose match. Afterwards, we got the Extreme Moment of the Year. That was presented by Mick Foley. That was kind of cool. And we got the nominees were CM Punk finally getting his revenge on Paul Heyman at Hell in a Cell. The Shield triple powerbomb and The Undertaker on SmackDown April 26, 2013. Ryback spearing John Cena through the lead lights at Extreme Rules, and the Wyatt family crushing Kane at SummerSlam. Probably would have gone with the Shield powerbomb and Undertaker's. That was a big deal for them to take them out. I always talk about they took out the Undertaker. And that was a big deal. But no, the CM Punk one getting his revenge on Paul Heyman. I like I said in my live reactions, the only thing that was probably extreme about it is that the storyline was finally over. I was finally happy that storyline was over. But, Then CM Punk comes out and talks about, he thanks for Heyman wanting his drive to get his hands on Heyman, stuff like that. He didn't really say a lot because his ribs were probably hurt, so. And then we got the Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper with Bray Wyatt at ringside. This match I thought was going to not be that good, but it ended up picking up at the end when one of the Usos rolled up Luke Harper, and I thought he was going to win there, but he didn't. And then when he did the splash on Luke Harper, I thought he was going to win there, but he didn't win there. And then Eric Rowan threw one of the Usos on the announce table, and then the other Uso kicked Eric Rowan, and then Luke Harper hit the split and clothesline for the win. So I thought this was a great match at the end. So then we got the match of the year, the final Slammy Award, the match of the year award being presented by Bret Hart. He talks about how he's had the opportunity to be in a number of great matches, how everyone puts their hearts out to get into a great match, stuff like that. The nominees, we got John Cena versus The Rock for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 29. Ugh. No. Undertaker versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 29. That was good. Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of the Shield at Battleground. That actually was good. You didn't know who was going to win there. And then we got Triple H versus Brock Lesnar inside a steel cage at Extreme Rules. I probably would have picked the Undertaker CM Punk match because I think that was probably the best match this year. The Triple H Brock Lesnar match wasn't bad, but they had so many matches it was already ruined. I will but I think the worst one out of all of them was Rock Cena, and that's the one that won. I didn't care about that match, but that's the one that won, and John Cena came out and talked. I don't remember what he said. Then we got Natalia versus Tamina with AJ Lee. Match was crap. All that Natalia did was a spinning clothesline and a sharpshooter and made her tap out for the win. Then we got the championship ascension ceremony when they hung the championship up. I thought this was cool. Um, they hung up their champ. Orton and Cena were gonna raise up their championships, and former champions were gonna be around the ring. They had pretty much everybody out there. Dolph Ziggler, Jack Swagger. What else? So they had Miz out there, Mysterio, Mark Henry, Daniel Bryan, who got a huge chant when Triple H was trying to talk. We heard the Daniel Bryan chant, and Triple H like, "You got a lot of fans here, Daniel." But then Randy Orton and John Cena come out. And Randy Orton talks about how he's great. He knows he can excel at his level. He can. He talks about how he took out Mick Foley, took out Shawn Michaels, took out everybody here, and doesn't have any respect. John Cena talks about how he worked. You didn't have to work hard to get here. Everything's been handed to you, and you don't care what punishment happens to you. And then he brings over Daniel Bryan, and he talks. Daniel Bryan said his father was something, and then he talks about how he had to work hard to get here. And then he talks about how Shawn Michaels gave him a great match at WrestleMania. Talks about how like no one would give Dolph Ziggler a shot unless John Cena said let him fight. Um, said something else. Oh, and he said like they weren't gonna give CM Punk his chance because he was gonna leave the company with a championship, but John Cena wanted to fight him. I remember him saying that. And then he said that there's no more excuses for Randy Orton after Sunday, win or lose. And John Cena said he's gonna win he's gonna be as ruthless as him. Orton and Cena shake hands, and then Orton and Cena brawl, and the superstars have to break it up. Then Orton kind of like thumbs Punk in the eye, and then Punk goes after Orton, and then Triple H breaks that up and shoves Punk. Punk attacks Triple H. Shawn Michaels gives CM Punk the sweet chin music. Daniel Bryan gives Shawn Michaels the flying knee. Randy Orton goes for the RKO on Daniel Bryan, but he counters and he accidentally goes into Stephanie McMahon. Triple H gets pissed by this and gives him the pedigree. And then the Authority kind of like stands with John Cena, like they want John Cena to be the face of the WWE now. And I actually think I wouldn't really care. I don't know. I don't. TLC I have low expectations for because we have like one that's supposed. I'll talk about that when I get there, but I'm just not really interested in the pay per view. The only thing I'm interested in is to see one champion get crowned. That's about it. Everything else is just yeah. Everything else is my friend Sean Foley would do. Like you, yeah. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for Raw this week. It was I actually thought it ended up being a good show. The Slammy Awards, it was good to see all the moments this year. And Daniel Bryan Fandango wasn't a bad match. CM Punk and Dean Ambrose was a good match. The Usos versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper was a good match. And I liked the segment at the end with the brawl. So I thought this was a pretty good show. Got to see some legends too. And this was the last time you saw both the World and WWE Championship together. Separate unless they're going to make it one championship by Sunday, but we'll see. But that's pretty much it for my Raw review, guys. I am Owen Finch, and you can follow me on Twitter. I'm going to start saying this now. Add my Facebook friends, Owen Finch, Owen Pinch, Owen Peter Dinch, Adam Finch. Subscribe to CM Live Reactions, CM Brothers, which is this channel actually, CM Brothers, CM Live Reactions, Wrestling Fortune 44, which don't think I quit on that channel. It's just I have that copyright strike, so and if I may put this video up, it wouldn't get up. So Wrestling and on the Talkinator, I'm gonna try to get the Nightmare on Elm Street review up soon. I'm just kind of like working on it. Either will be this weekend or next weekend because I don't have Cyberlink as a webcam anymore, but it's coming. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, it's coming. But that's pretty much it, guys. And follow me on Twitter too. I don't know if I said that, but that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.